on digital ID, right, one thing I learned by reading online was that during the Second World War in Holland, Hitler found out where all the Jewish people were by going by the most recent census, which had only just taken place before they got there. So they used that data to find Jews and to kill them. So if we have digital ID where we're going to be telling what religion we are, Muslim, Christian, etc., and they decide to eradicate us, whoever it is that's trying to take over our country or whatever, all they need to do is look at your digital ID, find out where you are, they'll know everything about you. So it's a really bad thing. And at the moment, we already have a system in place. We have passports, we have a DBS system, but we just need to be doing our jobs properly. So when you're verifying ID for people, as I did in my last job, you need to make sure you are following the government law, because a lot of companies at the moment are not following the guidelines on checking people for DBS. So you should have right to immigration, right to work, and right to rent comes up on your share code. So we already have a share code. If you don't have this on your passport because you were already in the country before we did Brexit, for example, you can ask for a share code. So the government can ask for these things of you already. They don't need extra, and we don't need to tell them every detail about our lives. And the thing is, if you have a criminal record, sometimes we get accused of crimes that maybe we didn't commit, and that could be on there as well. And you don't need any of that. People don't need to know everything about you. And as a Christian, the most important thing to me is that my identity is in Christ Jesus. That's my ID card. But I don't need to be having a badge on me. I don't have to wear a cross to say that. It's just shown in my actions every day. But yeah, this ID card thing, it's all control. And it's kind of a bit, I don't like to use the word cult, but it is kind of cultish. And it's like what the governments are trying to do with us, and I'm really frightened of it, to be honest with you. And actually, I'm a language tutor, and I tutor people to speak English from Turkey, and they've already got the ID card system in. Most of them are Muslim people, and they're not really all that happy with it. They're not really. Some of them, I asked them about it, and some of them are not really aware of what could be the consequences of having this ID card, and so they're kind of like, don't really care. But then others are like, we really didn't want it, but we had no choice. Our government made us do it. So every country in the world is going to end up doing this, and it will take one country who wants to take over everyone else, and they can do exactly what Hitler did, because he actually used a census, which was a paper ID thing, to find out what religion every person was in every household, and that's private. And actually, we change our religion, and you might forget to put it on your ID card. You could change that. So it's wrong.
That's what they do in China. They persecute Muslims in China.
Yeah, Muslims and Christians. Yeah, and Christians. They go into their houses. They seek you out. They put you in prison. Everything, and it's all controlled. We need to have a freedom to change our mind. You might change your mind about your religion, but you're going to forget to change your ID card. So, and also one person's more of a Muslim than another person. They might be like, yeah, I'm a Muslim, but never go to mosque. Or I could be a Christian, but never go to church. You just say that because you were born into that family. So it doesn't really mean that about you. So having an ID card saying you're this, you're that, is totally wrong. We have the right as human beings to change who we are anyway.
So what would you say, final thing, what would you say to Muslims, Christians, Jews, Hindus, whatever? What would you say to them? What advice would you give to them?
I would advise them to sign the government petition, which is opposed to the ID card. I've signed it already. I think you only need 100,000 signatures to actually get something debated in Parliament. And I think it's gone into the millions of signatures. And yet they're still not listening to the people. And all you can do is keep raising petitions, keep on talking to your MPs, doing it in a peaceable way. Everything I believe is to do it in a democratic and peaceable way. But we're not going to have democracy if we have these ID cards.